I think back to the days that I was a teacher, and my teaching career, I taught and I started writing for my class. That's where the first book was written. As you handed it back to me, you said, "You know, Ricky, you can be a writer when you grow up."
I do remember saying that.
Hello, my name is Eric Walters. I'm here today with one of the most important people in my life, my grade 5 teacher. I want to call her Miss Gay because that's what I knew her as back then. She insists that I call her Chris. So this is Chris Gay, the grade 5 teacher who encouraged me in life, who was my inspiration to one day become a teacher and to one day become a writer. We're sharing today, I want to share with her a new project that I'm involved with, a new book, and the part she has played in that book that I don't know she's aware of, but I want to talk to her about today. You had a name tag that you made for every single person.
Oh, right.
That
yes.
was on my desk. Back then I was known as Ricky.
Yes,
So I think sometimes it's hard for you not to call me Ricky the same way it's hard for me not to call you Miss Gay.
right, yeah.
So I have kept this for 50 years.
Oh, my goodness.
This was in my office, always. When I was a professional, as a social worker, when I was a teacher, I had this in my classroom,
Yeah.
and now this is in my writing desk.
Aw.
It sits there.
Ricky Walters.
Yeah.
You have to put up with the Ricky.
Well, it's funny, I know when people know me from. If I get a call somebody asking for Eric, I know they know me professionally.
Yeah,
If they ask for Rick, they know me
as
personally.
a friend, yeah.
If they call me Ricky, oh, do they know me from the day? That's either going to be an aunt or a cousin. One of the few people that calls me Ricky right now is Augie.
Oh, Augie Levy, yeah.
But Augie doesn't go by Augie anymore. Augie goes by Aaron.
Aaron?
Aaron, which was his actual name. So with him, I'll call and say, "Can I speak to Augie?" And they know it's me calling.
Yeah,
And when he calls and I get a call for Ricky,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's him.
yeah. Oh, that's great.
So we all got these name tags, but there was something else you gave me.
Oh, I gave you a book, did I?
You gave me a book that you chose one boy and one girl,
Oh, I remember doing that.
and that's what you inscribed in the book.
Oh, for goodness sakes. Miss C. Gay, very formal.
Yes, to Eric Walters from Miss C. Gay, June 1967.
67, my goodness, 67.
I remember handing in that paper, and it was called The Three Wolves. That was an essay, a story I wrote for you, and it was about 25 pages long, and I typed it.
Yes, oh, yes, I remember.
And I spelled wolves wrong every time. I spelled it WOLFS.
LFS, okay.
And I had to go back by hand and change every wolf to wolves.
Yes,
And I was so, I don't know if upset is the right word, but I was just so, I'd worked so hard to type a story.
yes.
And you gave me an A+ on it.
That was well worth it, I imagine.
And that's when you said to me, and I remember as you handed it back to me, you said, "You know, Ricky, you could be a writer when you grow up."
I do remember saying that.
Which, quite frankly, when you said that to me, I thought, oh, that makes no sense. I'm going to be in the MBA when I grow up.
Oh, I see, yes.
Apparently, one of us was wrong.
Yeah.
It wasn't you, it was me.
Yeah. Well, that was good. I'm glad I said that.
I'm glad you said that. I talk to teachers all the time. I talk to teachers around the world when I do presentations. And I always say to them, I know you know what you say to your students is important, but it's more important than you can even imagine. Something you say is going to change their lives. And you may not realize what it was, and they may not even know it was you who said it. But that's the impact a teacher has. Looking back, there's even things that I remember. You made me the milk monitor.
Oh, did I?
Yes. And it used to rotate, but it often didn't rotate away from me, that I was in milk monitor almost all the time with somebody else.
Oh,
And at the time I thought, well, that's because I'm a very responsible person.
yes.
But I think it's, looking back, is because the milk monitor got a free milk,
Oh, did he?
and you wanted to make sure I had a free milk every day. I run an orphanage in Kenya. That's something my wife and I do. And Chris has made donations over the years to the orphanage. Our library is in fact called the Christina Gay Library in Kenya.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. You telling me that.
It's the only library in all of Mabuni district, basically, and it's open to the kids at the orphanage, the kids at the local school, and community people can also be part of the library. They've got to pay, I think it's 10 cents to get a library card.
Oh,
And it just seemed fitting that the library be named after you.
oh, that's wonderful.
And I thought about that whole idea that you were very inspirational to me when I was 10, but the donations you made to the orphanage continued to inspire me. And the fact that you'd still be in a position where you're giving me direction and being a role model and being a positive person. That, again, it means a lot.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, you mean a lot to me.
It's nice to hear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, one of my favorite moments was when you came down to the Silver Birch ceremony with me,
I remember when you were speaking.
and I won, and I got to thank you in front of
Yes, you did.
1,500 people.
Yeah. You
That was
did.
actually special.
Yeah, it was. It was special for me, too.
It took me a lot of books. I think this is number 99, or it could be 100, I'm not
Oh,
sure.
my goodness.
So I finally got around to dedicating a book to you.
Oh.
And I want to read the dedication.
Okay.
and the
Oh, my
acknowledgement.
goodness. I'm the one that should be crying.
For Christina Gay, my grade 5 teacher who told me I could be a writer when I grew up, and for all the teachers who make a difference every day. Their words change lives. And I want to read the acknowledgement to you, because you're more than just the dedication in this book, you're a character in this book.
Oh, I'm a real character.
The character Chris is based on my grade 5 teacher, to whom this book is dedicated. In February 2017, she turned 92, and I went down to have a cup of tea with her at her place. She lives half the year on Ward's Island. The island in my story is called Ward's Island. When I pictured the events of my story happening, I pictured this community. When I wrote about my character's cottage in this book, it was her cottage that I pictured. More importantly, when I crafted this character who is wise, kind, decent, and caring, I pictured her. My mother died when I was very young. My life circumstances were often desperate and difficult. Thank you, Miss Gay, for being there at an important time in my life and believing in me. Thank you even more for continuing to be there and continuing to believe in me. With love, Ricky.
Oh, that is lovely.
For you.
That's for me. The fourth dimension, Eric Walters. Thank you so much.
It's for you. Thank you.
Well, thank you for being such a great guy, and a great student, and remembering me all these years.
How could I forget you? You changed my life.
Oh, treasure this